Ordering the correct panel sizes for your windows couldn't be easier. First, let's start with the height. We offer 4 basic sizes. We have a 7-foot, 8, 9, and 10-foot panel. Now you're going to see this in inches, an 84, a 96, a 108, and a 120. First thing you do is get yourself a nice 1-inch wide steel tape measure. They're easy to use and you get an accurate reading. I like to start from the floor and measure up. Now this window is just about 97 inches. So that's a little over 8 feet. I would order a 9-foot panel. If you have a 9-foot window, order a 10-foot panel. That way you have a lot of leeway. When the drapery comes, you can determine how high you're going to hang that depending on what kind of break you want on the floor. You can watch our video on how to hang draperies later. The second part is determining the width. There are 2 components. Measure the width of the window. This one happens to be 40. Add a little bit to each side. I like to go 4, 6 inches, something like that. 4 to 6 on this side. 40 plus your 6 and 6, 52. That's your rod length. Now here's the rule. For approximately every 50 inches of rod length, order 2 panels. So 2 panels will cover this window. You'll have one on this side and one on that side, and it can even open and close. But what if your window's larger? What do? If you just want a decorative look, 1 panel on each side will do it. There'll be a lot of glass in between, but the window will look decorated. But what if you want the drapery to open and close? Here's what you do. Measure the full width of the window, add your 6 inches on each side. That together is your rod length. Suppose that's 100 inches. Use the rule. Every 50 inches of rod, 2 panels. 100 inches, 4 panels. Or you could order 2 double panels. The double panels are 100 inches each. So you could have 2 100-inch double panels or 4 50-inch panels. This will give you some fullness. So when you close the drapery, it's not just flat. It has some fullness to it. Follow these rules and your draperies will look great every time.
Hi, I'm June from TMS, and we're introducing a couple new developments in curtain bling. It's the new one. And look at that. So where you bend it, that's how it stays. And we also have 2 new curtain bling to introduce to you. These are 2 of our newest designs, and if you like to have fun at Mardi Gras time like I do, these would be exceptional on your draperies or on anything else that's fabric in your house. And let me show you how pretty this is going to look. You have the pin in the back, and you just slide it onto your drapery and just bend, and it stays just like that. How festive.
I'm Yulia Jensen, and we're talking grommet drapery panels. Drapery panels were right for this room because they really add a little bit of chicness, a little bit of elegance to the bedroom. And because we're not putting furniture against this wall, we have the floor space. This is a difficult window. It's not centered in the wall. So the good thing about using a drapery rod is you can kind of fool the eye. The other great thing about using drapery panels in a guest room, these for the most part are stacked on the side. They look great. But when guests sleep over and they want some light control, we've got it built in. The grommets punch in almost like a hole punch, so anybody can do that. And I chose this really beautiful cinnamon fabric because it makes me feel happy. You'll need a tool to install the grommets. They're not expensive and you can get them at any fabric shop. If you're not brave enough to tackle sewing these yourself, this particular style of drape is available everywhere. Every big box store will have these panels, so there's no excuse. There's many great reasons to have grommet drapery panels. You use less fabric, they look fantastic, great light control, but the best thing about the grommets is it really is a good way to make draperies feel a bit more modern. And hey, we're all looking for help in that direction. Inside Design is always looking for interesting things to talk about. We want to hear from you. We want to know your questions. Comment below.
This is our pole pocket panel. It's uniquely designed for two applications. The first is a gathered pole pocket. You want to use a 1.5-inch diameter pole. It could be wood or metal. You start at the one end at the top of the drape and just gather that on there kind of lightly. Then you can add any kind of finial that you like on the end. And you want to spread this out so that it's not too gathered and dress it down a little bit. It has a more casual look, and when you're finished, it'll look something like that. Now, the second application is using the unique belt, the hook belt on the back. You're going to want to get some rings, and in this case, it doesn't matter the diameter of the rod or the rings, but what you want to do is use 7 rings for every 50-inch panel. It doesn't have to be, but that's a good average. And before you hang the drape, you'll have to apply the hooks that come with it. And what you want to do is spread these out every 8 inches, start at the top, and when you put that through there, it's going to come out so that you want it to be a 1/2 inch from the top of the drape. You go another 8 inches, and what you want to do is make sure that this doesn't pop out the front, because then you'll have a shiner and you'll have to do it over. And also let it grab some of the drapery behind it and not just go through the belt, because otherwise it twists and it's not very stable. So through the belt, through the drapery, out the top of the drapery, wind up a 1/2 inch from the top. Now when you're done, you want to hang 1 drapery hook on every eyelet at the bottom of the ring. Hang it all the way across, you dress it out, and when you're done, it'll have a more formal look and it's easier to open and close, and will look something like that. Follow these simple techniques and your draperies will look great every time.
kõige kuumem osa on see helesinine tipp. No, midagi nagu toimub. Jah, vaata, nüüd läheb. Pilt on jah õõgub. Keeruta seda, vaata tegelikult. Jah, näe, nüüd läheb. Ai. Teho. This is a quarter UNF swivel, linkage end. You've got a ball joint this end, which is staked so it won't come undone. You've got a swivel this end, again staked so that it won't come undone. And from the face of the swivel to the centre line of the ball joint is about 170 millimetres. Both threads are quarter UNF.
Call us today.